So in the past a week or so, I have shared many things. What do you guys think? Please share.
Yeah, I can begin if you want. You know, the last video, you know, you want to be a do real Wing Chun, or you want to continue being an idiot. It's it's quite hard for people to swallow, but it's realistic. That is the reality. And what you showed, the training methods which are used into the 99% of today's Wing Chun are detached from a real way of training with a real objective. And you know, you use the idea of Gotham City. Yeah, it's true that these, you know, a lot of people are living in their own comic book world, and they kind of confuse that with the real world. So so yeah, it's pretty straightforward what you said.
Oh,
I can only
sorry. The Shaolin, the Shaolin stuff. I like Daniel, you share first, and then I'll share with this.
Okay, I can only agree with what you said, or just Nim Joe said. It's like that. For example, the video before, you talked about internal, these you know, those kind of magic power. Everybody wants to learn internal because they think that's something special, something, you know, like you said, magical, and it's not, because it's a completely different thing. And this is also a big problem which everybody has, or a big issue, and this has to be solved as well. So I agree with what you said in the video, because I get these you know, experiences as well. And you know, some people come to me, and another guy who called me a few days ago, yeah, I want to learn internal, I want to this and that, and I told him that I'm not teaching him internal, because everybody, you know, wants to do something, and they think this is something, you know, something special, and I'm able to push you away, and you know, this is crazy. And you know, I experience it almost, you know, every day, and yeah, that's crazy, really.
Let me share with you what it is. Today is very clear already. Today in Chinese martial arts, okay, say Wing Chun, it is just what? Choreography, philosophy, and violence, talk violence. In MMA, or the real Qi Ji Guang martial arts, or karate, it is process of training, verifications, sparring or fighting, and refinement. So Wing Chun today, we like it or not, it has become like that. Choreography, philosophy, everybody have their choreography of whatever they talk, their philosophy of internal whatever they talk, their grandmaster. And then the third is they want to talk violence, talk with your mouth, not talk with your hand. You look at the MMA, you look at the BJJ, you look at the judo, you look at the Thai boxing, they have processes to train, they have sparring to verify what they train, and they refine at every fight. That's a reality. You like to swallow it or not, that is the reality. Okay? Number one. The second thing is this. Do you know where is all this Shaolin nonsense come in? Prior to 1850, Shaolin, burning of Shaolin is the code name of those anti-Qing. Okay? At that time, when you say burning of Shaolin, people know it belong to the anti-Qing group. It's not the real burning of the Shaolin temple. It's the anti-Qing group. Okay? Now, at that time, everybody have their salutations. The Choi Lei Fat have the salutation. The Wing Chun have the salutation. It's like today. If you talk about the people live today, everybody have a cell phone. Okay? 30 years ago, people don't have cell phone. Am I right? So the real anti-Qing in the 1850 and beyond, they have their salutations. They have their signature. Now, the uprising going down. They lost the uprising big time. So in history, a lot of people is killed. Where I share in the four video in Chinese. After that, guess what? You have this Gotham City burning of Shaolin. People write fiction, which Tang Hao say that this guy writing fiction, and but they write in a different way, and then there's where the Qi Sim Mui and everything come in. Now, in Wing Chun since 1890, the writing after the 1870, there is no salutation of the anti-Qing. This is, if you look at the Wing Chun 1850, this is the 5 leg and 4 Cs. The anti-Qing. You look into the history, you look into the Choi Lei Fat history, they all have this anti-Qing 5 leg 4 Cs, all this kind of saying. It's like today, you talk about YouTube, everybody know what is YouTube. But 50 years later, we might not know what is YouTube. 40 years ago, everybody know who is John Travolta. Am I right? You know who it is? Elvis Presley. 50 years later, nobody know who they are. If you live in that time, you know what it is. Now, so the second thing is, are you a real anti-Qing or are you living in Gotham City? I can check you now with your salutations. Do you have one? Or you made up one, but you don't have that words using at that era. Okay. So all those, the quarrel of Wing Chun is Wang Chun, and then the burning of Shaolin, everything is Gotham City. Sorry. Okay. The third thing. The entire thing of internal, the base layer of internal is here in scientific today. Don't tell me there's anything internal if it doesn't fit into that. As I shared in the yesterday's video, how the Qi Ji Guang people train, how the Shaolin short strike train. That is why Wing Chun Inception is really important, because I set up the platform, the H model, and I give you the N1 process. I set up this H model and I give you the N1 process in this book with all those heart rate and heart rate variability stuff. That is what I bring to America. That's why it's important. And as for this, the restricting Wing Chun, it is about your momentum handling and your power and so forth. Strength training and everything. This two book is actually my grade, the basic here. You want to know the reality? Read this one. What is Qi Qi Guang? So, the entire thing is here with the introductions, with this part of the fighting part, the means of fighting parts in this book and this book to the details. Now tell me what is internal. The first internal, as I always ask people like Nim Jo, if you don't have those N1, how the world are you going to handle your body to recover? Can you do it?
No, I mean, that's the first step of knowing your body, right?
If you don't have this, by the way, I have a new one. This is good. This is Garmin 250. This is cheap, 300 something, but it is the ultimate for all whatever I have. This is a new one. So if you don't have this, you don't have the N1, you don't know this H model map and the science behind it, the H model map. I really don't know what is internal. So 15 years ago, not even 15 years ago, 10 years ago, prior to Xi Xiaodong, this is internal. What Lei Lei do here in the Tai Chi guy do is internal. And that is how much it's worth it in the real life. This is also internal. This is called Wing Chun, the classical teaching. And all those, this is how much it worth. Why? Why? Because you don't cover the training there. You don't cover the recovery, the aerobic base, the endurance trainings, and the high-speed, high-power training. That's why you cannot fight Xi Xiaodong, and you need to forget about this. Forget about getting into this. You cannot last in seconds. That's the reality. Okay? So any Wing Chuners, that's why I propose in Asia. If you don't have trained those anaerobic training and so forth for the power and everything, don't call yourself, you can say, I teach Wing Chun traditional ritual or practice, but don't call it Wing Chun martial arts. Because it is not. And don't call it Wing Chun internal. Can you handle your heart rate with this? And by the way, your anaerobic, aerobic, you always check with that. So, because other Kung Fu grandmaster telling me, said, right now everybody call themselves Sifu. I said, what Sifu right now? Okay, let's set, let's draw the line. If you don't set a high standard with quality, you don't have Wing Chun. And all other Chinese martial arts the same. So that's what I say. You want to be doing Wing Chun that way, like I just showing you. You know what is your end up in the with Xi Xiaodong. Can you go fight with Zhang Weili? How many seconds can you last? Like Zhang Weili and Joanna can handle in the anaerobic for minutes. How many seconds can you last in anaerobic when you have to use your extreme strength and power and speed? So third thing, right? So I just tell guys, number one, this anti-Qing stuff, Shaolin stuff. Is it real Shaolin or Gotham City? The second, are you sure it is a martial art? The third thing is, do you really have any training at all? I'm not even talking about internal. So the Western science have already found out that this is called anaerobic. When you fight, you're gonna get in here. This is called aerobic. Okay, the Chinese don't have that. The Western science also have already shared that at rest, your blood is distributed to your cardiac output is distributed to your kidneys and your internal organs, and at extreme, 70 or 80% is going to your muscle. Well, tell me which internal today, what you see down there, tell you that. Did they even know this? But you look at the Shaolin, the Qi Ji Guang, they do train there. That's why there are 3 types of training there. Am I right? So this is what I have to share with you. You know, what do you guys think?
Okay, so Daniel, go.
You go ahead. Okay. No, I think it is like that, because if you don't know your body, if you don't have the aerobic and anaerobic training, especially in fighting, in sparring, I can tell you, when I spar and when I do BJJ or sparring with my students, you need this. You have to have this anaerobic training to be able to spar, or to even know the high intensity and when you fight, and because it is always high intensity when you do sparring and all that stuff. And if you don't have the experience, and then you get into trouble, I say into trouble because you might get into trouble. Nobody knows, and you want to fight or to first of all, when you're scared of something, you start to the whole body starts to shiver because the adrenaline is arising, and then you lose your breath because you're scared, which is normal, it's just human. Okay, and then you need to fight, and you have to fight and need to breathe and have these experience. If you don't have the experience, how can this is really important, because okay, we don't fight every day, we don't spar every day or
you
whatever.
Need to watch
but
out
at
here
least,
too. You need to watch out here too, Daniel.
Yeah.
All these things are really specific. Even though I'm saying that, whatever I say here is like really just, I'll even say superficial. The reality is this. This is recycling momentum. Guess what? I train recycling momentum in anaerobic. If you don't train recycling momentum in anaerobic, you drop dead. So it has to be that details. And again, because of recycling momentum, it's not going to go straight. Why? Because you don't know what is your opponent is coming to get you. You might take shot in their body. That's reality. So one thing is, even though I share with you guys today, the notion I say this thing is, don't get into those generalizations. You need to be there in order to be able to know what it is there. Otherwise, what it is. Everybody will say, oh, there's a bad habit always when people say we have this, and you say, well, I have this too, we have this too, we have this too. So right now I'm kneeling down for the what do you call it? For the details. Do you have that training, that techniques under your high VO2 max and anaerobic physiological states? If not, what is that technique is? What good is all this? You can repeat whatever I say in this video, but you still don't know what it is. And there's a bad habit in past 60 years. When Bruce Lee say this, you say, well, I know what Bruce Lee say too. I mimic Bruce Lee. Do you know what Bruce Lee say? So that is the serious stuff. So Daniel, this has to be really careful. You look at, say, all the Thai boxer. Didn't they do the anaerobic when they execute their attack?
Yes. That's why I say everybody has to have these this kind of experience. If you don't have it, how can you?
It's not experience. It's training.
Or training, yeah.
Okay, you need to train. If you don't train, you never experience it. And as I just now I say already, right? There are three things. In the real martial art, number one is the processes of training. The second thing is the verifications. The third thing is refine, keep refining it in a fight, in a sparring, or whatever. So experience is, do you have the training of the process? Have you verified your training? And then have you refined your training? Well, I have disregard of whom, I'm not going to give any face. That's why I tell Daniel here straight. Not just because you study with me that, oh yeah, I will say you're good. No. It is the same. Everybody the same. Why? Because this is a war zone. This is the requirement. If you want to race Formula One, you better have the Formula One level. So in Wing Chun, they are saying that in the war there is no father or son, meaning that in the war everything has to be straight. That's what it is, by law, by rule. So what is the point to learn all your hand techniques when you don't even know about the anaerobic, you don't even know the recycling momentum? What good is you learn this Tai Chi move or what this move and what this move when you couldn't even handle the anaerobic state? Because when you go start up in the fight, you know it's maximum speed, maximum power, maximum endurance. Some might handle 30 minutes, some might can only handle 30 seconds, some might be able to handle 2 minutes. The different people, but at least if they are there, they know what the heck's going on. So this is the reality. Is there Wing Chun or there's no more Wing Chun? Look at past 130 years. What is that? No, so what do you guys think, Ninjo?
Yeah, you've talked about the uniqueness before, and the big irony is that, you know, when you say to Wing Chun people, oh, you know, why don't we see any Wing Chun people competing in the ring, you know, like a professional level? And they come up with 1,000 different excuses, but one of the excuses which always makes me laugh is that what we do is unique, it's special, you know, it's whatever, when it's not designed for the ring or what you know, we have a special training method, we do these techniques, and it's like, you get the idea of uniqueness is hand techniques. Is that really what makes your art unique? A series of movements that you do with your hand? It's like, what planet are you living on, right?
Sorry to cut you. Because they are living in choreography, their way, philosophy, their whatever they like, and then they talk violence.
Can I just say one more thing?
Sure, please.
Just say one more thing. Is that so they want to, you know, they they say, well, we should be able to see that it looks like Wing Chun when it's in the ring. So not Sanda. What you're doing is Sanda. No, it's not Wing Chun, because we can't see this bong sao at 90 degrees or more than 90 degrees or whatever. And it's like, that's so, you have a three exercises, chisao, wooden dummy, and your forms, and that's your training to go into the ring and compete at a professional level. Seriously, you never measured your heart rate? No, because what we do is unique. You know? It's like a folk myth, right?
But now it is this what this guy is doing. He's a famous guy in China, a Sifu, have a lot of students. Okay, look at what he's doing. Isn't this what everybody claim that is so special?
Yeah, and so the last thing is when you try to rationalize and say, look, you have your aerobic based training, you have your recovery level, and you have your anaerobic based training. The argument that comes back to you is, oh, you're making Wing Chun less special, you're making it less less exotic, less special. You're taking away the magic from it. Well, yeah, that's exactly what you're doing. You're taking away the magic from it because the magic is BS, right?
So sorry, your Wing Chun is this. Your Wing Chun, by your definition, is this. That is your Wing Chun. That's the guy who do exactly like you. That's how much he can handle an MMA guy. Look at it closely. Look at it closely. That's how much it's worth in the real life. When people so that's what it's worth when you face the real martial art, which based on the process of training with their uniqueness. A Thai boxer is a Thai boxer. A Western boxer is a Western boxer. They fight that way. MMA fight that way. The verifications of their training, inspiring and so forth, and keeping refined their fighting art, inspiring. When you face that, you already see 2-3 videos I just shared with you. What is your outcome? So don't tell me there's Wing Chun. Why? Because you're not entitled to call that Wing Chun, because Wing Chun is not what you think. So you think that, well, I might get tough, I get rough at this. What right do you have to call whatever heck the nonsense you create is called Wing Chun? What is violate everything the ancient Wing Chuners and the ancient traditional Chinese martial art practice? So call it your name if you want to. Like if I want that, I call it Hendrix Arts. Don't call it Wing Chun. Or Hendrix Wing Chun. Why? Because Hendrix do not have Wing Chun when I go through that. You look like those who practice the BJJ or practice Thai boxing. They don't do those kind of nonsense. It is a serious stuff.
I just want to say one more thing, because you showed Zhang Wei Li the other just before, and there comes a point at professional level, just at a consumer level, if you watch these things, that you can't. Okay, you know that these people have trained in one martial art or two martial arts for a very long time, but there comes a level of professionality where it's difficult to see where they're so good, you know, at what they do. They adapt in the environment that they're fighting in, the MMA environment, or if they're in a Muay Thai environment, they'll adapt to it, right? Because they have that level of professionality. I think Wing Chun people are expecting to see people doing Tanda, Pakda, Fukda, you know, or whatever, you know, and that's
Okay.
the whole, it's a weird way of thinking.
Let me say you, Nimjo, you teach English. Should I know when we communicate in English, can it be everything, or it's just like a pen and a man and a pen need a man need a pen? All those are according to that. Now you are talking about the Tan Bong Fok is a man like a pen like a man. Those type of things.
Yeah, it might be very good for your tongue, right, to get a good exercise, but it's not going to show you how to talk English or communicate with someone if you go to England.
Yeah, right? So it is completely defy the reality. So this is a reality. Don't give me all those anti-Qing or Shaolin or all those nonsense. In the eyes of the real martial art today, people look down at you. Look into the YouTube and see how people rate you. Okay, time is up. Talk to you guys later.